For the next 10 seconds, compare clip A on the left with clip B on the right. Watch the color, exposure, contrast, and detail. Then decide which one you prefer. I'll identify both filters near the end. Welcome back to Lewin Ventures. Today I'm testing an electronic ND filter for the DJI Mavic 4 Pro against the Freewell Split ND filter I normally use. This is not a laboratory test. It is a real Houston flight with harsh afternoon sunlight, intense heat, 3 different cameras, moving trains, and changing light later in the day. I recorded in 4K 60 D-Log-M with a fixed white balance of 5700 Kelvin. One important production note, some of the 60 frame per second footage was accidentally recorded at 1/60th before I changed the shutter to 1/120. The final video is delivered at 30 frames per second, so the 1/60th footage works naturally when played at normal speed. However, this was not a perfectly controlled 180-degree shutter test, and I want to be transparent about that. I began with the Freewell Split filter. It provides ND64 over the main Hasselblad camera and ND32 over the 2 telephoto cameras. My first move was a slow backward flight revealing the Houston skyline. The intense afternoon sunlight gave me bright clouds, reflective buildings, deep shadows, grass, and plenty of fine detail to examine later. I then switched among the 1x, 2.5x, and 6x cameras. The main Hasselblad camera establishes the skyline and surrounding area. The medium telephoto compresses the scene and brings the buildings closer. The 6x camera isolates distant subjects that almost disappear in the wider view. Because these cameras use different sensors, lenses, apertures, and exposure behavior, differences between focal lengths should not automatically be blamed on the filter. I am looking at whether each view remains sharp, useful, and reasonably consistent. It was approximately 2:50 in the afternoon, and the Houston heat was intense, so I eventually moved back into the car. A commuter train appeared, and I captured it with all 3 cameras. These spontaneous moments demonstrate why filter convenience matters. A train will not wait while I return, land, change filters, restart the drone, and fly back into position. Then a much longer cargo train entered the scene. With the Freewell filter still installed, I followed it through the curve and captured several perspectives. The wide camera shows the train moving through the larger city landscape. The medium telephoto gives it more presence while retaining some surroundings. At 6x, the locomotive and individual rail cars become the main subjects. Bright metal, dark rail cars, vegetation, gravel, and movement give us a useful look at detail, color, and motion. I then brought the drone back and replaced the Freewell filter with the electronic ND. Installation was straightforward, the filter remained secure, and I received no gimbal overload warning. I could now control its density from the controller, instead of having to land whenever the light changed. With the electronic ND installed, I returned to the railway and captured the cargo train again with all 3 camera lenses. This was not a repeatable lab scene. The train had moved and the sunlight could change, but it gave me another real-world opportunity to evaluate the filter. Compared with Freewell, I noticed a small color difference in some electronic ND footage. It was visible but not severe, and a modest white balance and tint correction brought the images considerably closer. I am not a professional colorist or optical engineer. My practical question is whether the difference is noticeable and whether it is manageable during a normal travel edit. This controller recording shows the electronic ND operating in auto at approximately ND 32 during this section. I can keep my frame rate, shutter speed, white balance, and other creative settings under manual control while allowing the electronic ND to respond to changing light. I would normally avoid letting the density change visibly during an important take. The cleaner method is to stop recording, let the filter adjust, confirm the exposure, and then begin the next shot. From there, I filmed the Houston skyline, the bayou, and the freeway interchange around Interstate 45 and Interstate 10. Bright concrete, dark shadows, moving vehicles, vegetation, water, and distant buildings created a demanding scene. This area is where the electronic ND starts to feel like a genuine travel filmmaking tool. If the light changes or I turn toward a darker direction, I can adjust the controller. I do not need to locate another landing area, handle small filters, or risk missing the shot while the drone is grounded. The electronic ND remained secure throughout the flight, and I experienced no gimbal errors. The wind was relatively mild, so I still want to test it near the coast, where stronger gusts, water reflections, and salt air will create a more demanding test. After landing, I packed everything away and drove west toward Katy for sunset. I started the shot later than planned, but the changing light still demonstrated the electronic filter's biggest advantage. As the sun drops, a fixed ND64 can quickly become too strong. With traditional filters, I may need to land and move to ND32, then ND16 or ND8. With the electronic ND, I can reduce the density from the controller and remain ready during the best few minutes of color. Now for the reveal. Clip A on the left was the electronic ND set to ND64. Clip B on the right was the Freewell Split filter with ND64 over the main camera and ND32 over the 2 telephoto cameras. For maximum optical predictability, Freewell remains the safer choice. For travel, changing light, and unexpected subjects, the electronic ND offers a major convenience advantage. Which image did you prefer? Comment below, subscribe to Lewin Ventures, and join me as I continue testing this filter in stronger wind and better sunset conditions.